43 countries, one European Union and a kingdom that just told all of them we are not joining this alliance, we are leading it. The target is the Red Sea and the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. The water Yemen's Houthi rebels have turned into a war zone for commercial ships. That's not a small announcement, that's a kingdom telling the world it's done absorbing attacks quietly. So what pushed Saudi Arabia to this point? Who actually showed up to back it? And who very deliberately didn't? And why is Iran's presence sitting underneath almost every line of the story? Stay with me because this goes back further than this week and it's not close to over. On Thursday, Saudi Arabia's defense ministry confirmed it, a new multinational maritime defense coalition built to protect commercial shipping and energy routes across the Red Sea, the Bab el-Mandeb Strait and the Gulf of Aden. Representatives from 43 countries and the EU sat down for a meeting to discuss the plan. Saudi Arabia isn't just joining this coalition, it's founding it, leading it and hosting its headquarters. So what will this alliance actually do? A few things. It will coordinate efforts to keep shipping lanes open and safe. It will work to protect commercial vessels and energy infrastructure. It will boost surveillance across the whole Red Sea region. And it will get countries sharing intelligence, running joint naval patrols and coordinating responses whenever a threat shows up on the water. 14 countries signed on immediately with a joint statement backing the plan. Among them Turkey, Pakistan, Egypt, Sudan and Djibouti. But here's something worth noticing. Two major regional players, Oman and the United Arab Emirates, did not sign that statement. Both sit right on these waters. Their absence says something even if nobody's spelling it out yet. Why build an entire international coalition over one strait? Because Bab el-Mandeb isn't just any stretch of ocean. It's one of the most important choke points on the map. It links the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden and the Arabian Sea, paired with the Suez Canal just north of it. This route forms the shortest sea path between Europe and Asia. Crude oil, liquefied natural gas, container cargo, even military shipments, an enormous share of global trade funnels through this one narrow gap. So what happens if that gap gets too dangerous to use? Ships have to reroute all the way around Africa via the Cape of Good Hope. That's not a small detour. It adds thousands of nautical miles to a voyage, stretches transit time by roughly 10 to 15 days and pushes up the cost of fuel, freight and insurance for everyone involved. Every extra day at sea gets paid for eventually, usually by consumers somewhere down the line. And the strait has grown more dangerous by the year. Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi movement has repeatedly targeted commercial ships and the warships here, using drones, missiles and explosive-laden boats. That's the direct threat this new coalition exists to answer. So why now? Why this particular week? On July 20th, the Houthis declared something drastic, a naval blockade against Saudi Arabia in the Red Sea. Since then, they have claimed responsibility for a string of attacks on Saudi-linked commercial ships. Saudi Arabia didn't sit on that. It launched airstrikes on what it called Houthi military facilities in Yemen's Hodeida province, saying those sites were being used to threaten international shipping and commercial vessels. That back and forth, a blockade on one side, airstrikes on the other, is the other immediate trigger behind this week's meeting. Saudi Arabia isn't just responding with force anymore. It's trying to build a wall of international partners around the problem. To really understand why this is happening, you have to rewind more than a decade. Back in 2014, Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthi movement seized the capital, Sana'a, and forced the internationally recognized government of President Abd Rabbu Mansour Hadi to flee. Saudi Arabia looked at that and saw a direct threat sitting right on its southern border, and a sign that Iran's influence was expanding across the Arabian Peninsula. So Saudi Arabia built a coalition of Arab states and launched a large-scale military intervention to try to restore Houthis' government. What was supposed to be a short campaign turned into a long, grinding war, and it created one of the worst humanitarian crises anywhere in the world. In 2022, a UN brokered truce did calm the worst of the fighting, but calm isn't same as peace. No comprehensive agreement was ever reached. The Houthis kept control on much of northern Yemen, including Sana'a itself, and sporadic clashes, cross-border attacks never really stopped. That unresolved war is the backdrop to everything happening right now. The blockade, the airstrikes, and this new 43-nation coalition aren't a new conflict starting from scratch. They are the latest chapter of one that never actually ended. So here's where it leaves us. Saudi Arabia now has a coalition on paper. 14 countries have publicly backed it. 2 important neighbors haven't, and the Houthis, backed by Iran, still control the exact stretch of coastline that this entire alliance was built to protect against. Whether this coalition can actually keep ships safe or whether it becomes another chapter in a war with no clear ending is the question everyone watching this region is asking right now.